Tonight I'm going to talk about why I've never run a road marathon. So we got a Wednesday afternoon run. It is a beautiful day. Lunch run here over here at Germantown. Got some really pretty snow, and we're gonna get some hills in today. So we'll see how far we go. Not quite sure yet, but we got snow. Love it. It's gonna be fun. All right, catch up in a little bit. So my first snow run, my first real snow run this year. This is great, very pretty. A lot of the trails are still covered in about 1 inch of snow. So really, can't ask for better. A lot of fun. That was a fall. It's so pretty out here, but yet so quiet, so peaceful and serene. Nobody's here. I passed a few people here and there, but it's kind of inspiring. Definitely gives you some times to think. All right, enough blabbering, let's run. Before we get started, I wanted to say thank you for subscribing to my channel, clicking the like button or the bell notification if you'd like to be notified of future videos. That all helps my channel and I appreciate it very much. With that out of the way, let's get started. Hey, what's up everybody? Dan the Ultra Dad here. I hope you're doing well today. Hope you enjoyed my run. I had a good time running over the Germantown Metro Park. Beautiful day, really enjoyed it. Lots of snow, which of course is one of my favorite things to do. So I really hope you got to take in some of the sights as I did, but maybe with a little less work than I put in, because I was tired. It was a hard training run. Only went about 7.5 miles, but covered about 1,200 feet of vertical gain and really got some solid training in today. So tonight I'm going to be talking about a topic that I think is kind of funny in some ways, because you would think that I would have done this before, but tonight I'm going to talk about the fact that I have never run a road marathon. Make sure you be quiet about that. Shh. I feel like kind of a fraud because my channel's name is Ultra Dad, and so you would think I would have at least tried a road marathon, but I haven't. So truth be told, I just never got into the idea of doing a road marathon. I've done several half marathons on the road, and I think my PR is like a 1:34, which is, you know, that's pretty good for me, but definitely nothing to write home about. I don't know, maybe someday I'll do a road, I'm sure I'll do a road marathon one day. At least a dozen ultra marathons at this point. So I guess you could say I ran a marathon just on the trail, and it's more than that. I've probably run, you know, a half dozen 50Ks, a couple 100Ks. I did the Bandera 100K, and I did something local here called the Tie-Dye 100K. I've DNF'd at 100 miler, and then I finished my first 100 miler last year. So I've gone the distance, but not nearly the speed that you would expect for a marathon. I really enjoy the trails. So I guess there's a couple reasons why. Number one, I always just kind of wanted to push myself to the next level of distance. So a road marathon was really skipped in my mind. I went from a half marathon up to the 50K distance, and that's where I started doing trail runs. That's really the lowest level of an ultra marathon, the 50K, which is 31 miles versus the 26.2 in a marathon. So that's one of the reasons. I think the other reason is I just really enjoy the great outdoors. I like being able to see nature and wildlife and things like that, which you kind of miss when you're doing a road marathon. Another big reason is the fact that the trails are much easier on the body, I think. Of course, it depends. If you fall, you could get pretty seriously injured. But as long as you don't fall, it is the dirt and the trails are easier on your knees, I think. That's relatively undisputed. The road is just so tough on your joints. And so that's another thing that's not as appealing to me. I haven't had any major problems, knock on wood and cross your fingers, with my knees yet, but I definitely did have an injury about 4 years ago that took me out of the game for about 6 months. I never did get an MRI, I never did go to the doctor. You know, I probably should have. But that kind of scared me a little bit with the longer distance on the pavement. So the injury factor might have played into it. But really the biggest part is just pushing myself to that next level. I really like the idea of endurance. So, you know, it's not a big deal to me that I'm not running at 5-minute miles. I don't mind walking some of these ultra marathons. The key is to go the distance. It's just kind of addicting, you know, kind of gets you to want to do the next level. So, you know, then the question becomes, do I want to do a 250 mile or 200 or 250 or a 300 miler? I can't imagine doing a 300 miler. 200 miles, I could see myself trying a 200 miler down the road. That's kind of insane to even think about. It really took a lot just to make it 100 miles. But this year, the big challenge is going to be doing multiple races, multiple 100 milers, if I can finish them. I guess we might as well do a quick update on that. So I am 54th on the waiting list for the Cruel Jewel 100, which is in May. It's down in Georgia at Vogel State Park. Has about 33,000 feet of gain and loss. It's a beast of a race. One of the toughest, if not the toughest, ultramarathon on the East Coast. To think that the Mohican 100, which I just did in October, was actually about half the vertical gain of the Cruel Jewel is pretty daunting, to be honest. I need to ramp up my vertical gain, but I'm trying to get as much hill work as I can in to be prepared for that race. And then, so I'm 54th on the waiting list, and I was 67th just about a month ago. So and we're not even that close to the race yet. I don't know. I think there's a real chance. There's a real chance that I'm going to get in, which is a little bit scary, to be honest. So a little frightening. So that's the Cruel Jewel 100. And then in the fall, I'm signed up for the Fat Dog 120. So up in Vancouver, I have unfinished business there. I really want to show my family that region up there in British Columbia. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to show them that and share that experience with them. Those are my two races right now. Oh, I do have, of course, the Mohican 100 in June, so that's my third race. I'm sure that I will try to run the 100 miler, which would be pretty stupid, I think, after the Cruel Jewel, if that happens. That would be about a month, or maybe even less than a month after the Cruel Jewel 100. We'll have to see how the body's doing, but that would be, you know, Cruel Jewel in May, Mohican 100 in June, and then Fat Dog 120 in the end of August or the beginning of August. So that's a lot of mileage within 6 months. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Anyway, I hope your training is going well. Hope everything's going well for you. I certainly appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel, if you like the video with a thumbs up, or if you click the bell notification for notification of future videos. I guess that's all I have for tonight. Once again, I'm the Ultra Dad. I hope you're doing well, and we'll see you in the next one.